Happy St. Patrick's Day. Today I'm making Irish Guinness brown bread. So if you're having any kind of Irish themed dinner for St. Patrick's Day or any kind of St. Patrick's Day party, this will be perfect. It's also yummy bread to have anytime. So I'll show y'all what I'm doing here. There we go. Alright, so I already measured out my dry ingredients. I have a cup of quick cooking oatmeal, and I have 2 1/4 cups of whole wheat flour. I also have a 1/4 cup of regular flour. I have 1/2 cup of brown sugar. You can use dark brown or light brown sugar. I happen to have light brown sugar. And then I also have 2 1/4 teaspoons of baking soda and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. So we're using both baking soda and baking powder. And I'm just going to whisk this up and mix up all of our dry ingredients. This is a nice whole wheat bread with just a splash of regular flour in it. Between the whole wheat and the oatmeal, you've got a lot of good whole grains going on. All right. That looks pretty mixed up. We can see the oatmeal peeking through and everything. All right, okay. And I'm going to create kind of a well in the middle of my bowl to put our wet ingredients. Makes the mixing easy. Okay. And I'm just going to do everything in one bowl instead of mixing my dry ingredients in one bowl and the wet in another. Saves on cleanup. Okay, so I'm going to pour in 1 cup of buttermilk. So we got our buttermilk over here. And I'm going to pour 1 cup in. Alrighty. And I'm also going to add a teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. And 5 tablespoons of melted Kerrygold Irish butter, and we get that nice yellow color because it's from grass-fed Irish cows. All right, pour that in. And I'm just going to go ahead and set this thing that has dripping butter on it in the sink. All right, and last but not least, we have a bottle of extra stout Guinness. And this would be a fun thing to make with your kids because it's almost like a little bit of a scientific reaction going on here. Isn't that fun? It's reacting with the baking soda and the baking powder that I already mixed in, and so it's just like fizzing up. So between that reaction and the yeast, that's going to give our bread a nice rise. I think a lot of kids would get a kick about pouring the beer in and then watching everything foam up, kind of like one of those science project volcanoes. All right. And then we're going to mix this all in, just kind of working in from the sides.
Mama. Mama.
Yeah, I'm right here, baby. All right. James is happily enjoying a lollipop that we got at a birthday party yesterday. He had a big party day. He went to 2 birthday parties. Popular dude, I guess. He had a lot of fun. Yeah? Is that right? He is really starting to talk a lot. Just a few minutes ago, he said, I want my stool, because he wanted to come over here and stand on his stool and watch Mommy in the kitchen. All right. Hey, Aunt Candy, I hope you enjoyed your vacation. It looked like you had a lot of fun. The pictures were beautiful. All right, almost done whisking that in. This is getting nice and incorporated. Just trying to make sure I got all the flour from the bottom. But what's nice about this bread is even though you get a nice rise out of it, you don't have to wait hours and hours and hours for it to rise, and then you punch it, and then you let it rise again, and then you shape it and let it rise again, and then you bake it. So when I've made French bread, it takes like 8 to 12 hours from start to finish, and so that's a lot of work. All right. this does have more ingredients and takes longer to mix up than French bread does. Because with French bread, you basically have flour and yeast and water. So we have a lot of yummy ingredients in here with the whole wheat flour and the oatmeal and the Guinness and vanilla and the buttermilk. But you don't have to wait to put it in the oven. You can just pop it right in, which is nice. All right, I think that is good and mixed in. So over here, I went ahead and sprayed my baking pan so it'll pop out nice and easy. I just use an olive oil spray for the pan. And I preheated our oven to 450. And once I get this in the oven, I'm going to turn it down. And pass this off so I can pour the batter in. I'm going to turn it down to 400 once I pop it in the oven. And then bake it for 45 minutes. And then you can check it and insert a toothpick to make sure it comes out clean and it's done and everything. But about 45 minutes at 400 should do it. If you have a metal whisk, you might want to switch over and get a rubber spatula to scrape out the batter. But if you're using a rubber whisk like I'm doing, it kind of works as a spatula too. So you can use it for the same thing. Not have to get a tool out. Okay, almost got this all out. And I'm not really a beer drinker at all. I like a nice glass of white wine, but the bread doesn't taste like beer. It tastes like a really good brown whole wheat bread. The bread doesn't taste like beer if you're kind of weirded out by that. But you do get a lot of nice yeast action from the beer. And if you're scared of baking and using packaged yeast and that things will rise or not rise, then this is a nice shortcut to use. All right. And I'm going to just kind of shake this out and make it nice and even and tap it down to get any air bubbles out. And now I'm going to top this off with some oatmeal. Just grab my oatmeal. There we go. So I'm going to sprinkle the top with our quick cooking oats. All right, that should be good, I think. That looks really nice. Okay, so I'm going to pop this into our oven. So say I've preheated it to 450. I'm going to pop this in. And I'm going to go ahead and turn down our temperature to 400. Whoops. Okay, and set our timer for 45 minutes. So that should do it, but you can always double check your oven, and when it comes out, test it with the toothpick just to be sure that yours is fully cooked, and you can cook it for a few minutes longer if needed. But so this is just a great, delicious, fairly easy, especially if you're a beginner to baker bread recipe. It's fun to have the whole house smell like bread and just smell so yummy while it's baking. And then once it comes out of the oven, it's great to have as a snack or breakfast or dinner. This is a really versatile bread. So I'll show y'all the pictures of it once it comes out of the oven in a little bit. Y'all enjoy your St. Patrick's Day.